As we talked in the previous slide about presentations, how do we need to present, how do we need to be interacting, what all parameters should be covered when we are talking, when we are giving a presentation, why are the presentations important, what is the main scenario or the cause of presenting things, everything. In the next column, we are going to talk about reading and responding to client briefing and meetings. In this particular thing, we are going to talk about the goal and the sessions. Why is reading and responding to client briefs and meetings important? The aim is to train you in how to effectively read and respond to client briefs and meeting minutes in professional environments. These documents are often used in workplaces to communicate expectations, project goals, deadlines, and important decisions. Talking about the goal, the aim is to train us effectively read and respond to client briefs and meetings minutes in the professional environment. These documents are often used in workplaces to communicate expectation, project goals, deadlines, and important decisions. Whenever we have a meeting, whenever in professional areas we have a meeting, there are 4 people sitting in that meeting with 4 different areas to take care of. Then a person who is sitting there has to prepare an MOM, which is called the minutes of meeting. In that minutes of meeting, whatever is discussed in that meeting, whatever project goals are discussed, whatever deadlines are taken, whatever decisions are taken, whatever expectations are there, all these are put in that MOM. And the MOM is circulated to all the people sitting over there so that the effectiveness and the concern of that meeting is shared with everybody, and next time we have the same meeting but with a different scenario where we have grown up and result oriented outcome is there. The aim is to train us how to effectively read and respond to client briefs and meetings minutes in professional environments. These documents are often used in workplaces to communicate expectations, project goals, deadlines, and important decisions. Now, what are the major points which we will cover in this? The first one we are going to take care of: understand the brief or minutes thoroughly. Second is highlight key requirements. Third would be respond clarity and professionally. Fourth would be ask smart clarifying questions. And the fifth would be review, confirm, and follow up. Reading and responding to client briefs and meetings. Goal is to understand how effectively we can read, and MOMs are circulated to the meeting members for new adherence, for response, to understand what the client briefs are, what all has been discussed, what all has to be communicated for better goals, for better projections and deadlines to be taken care of, and important discussions which have been done by the time. Now we are going to talk about the topics, points like understanding the brief or minutes thoroughly, highlighting the key responsibility areas or the key requirements, responding clearly and professionally, and asking smart clarifying questions, reviewing and confirming, and following up. Our slide here is going to talk about understanding the brief or minutes thoroughly. Why does it matter? It matters because a brief or meeting summary holds the vision. Missing a small detail can derail the entire project. If we are taking a brief on a meeting and summarizing, holding the vision, and missing on a small detail, the entire project is going to get smashed. Tips: skim once, then reread slowly, look for client goals, deliveries, deadlines, tone of voice, budget. Check who is responsible for what. That means the rules. For example, if the brief says design a landing page for Gen Z users, your research Gen Z design trends, bright colors, fast loading, minimal text. So, what do we understand by this slide and this point? We are understanding that a brief on minutes thoroughly is very important, where we understand that we cannot miss on any detail, because if we miss on any detail, or if we have a missed vision, or a missed detail, our entire project is going to get smashed. The tips would be: skim it once, reread slowly whatever the project requirements are. Client goals should be clear, deliveries when and how to be done should be clear, deadline should be very focused, tone of voice should be very very understood, and the budget should be precise. We should be very clear about every single detail of the budget. Check who is responsible for what role, give all the role the measures to them, so that they have figured out their own work and they have a team, they are working as a team, their deadlines are matched on time. Now if we, for example, get a project where we have to design a landing page for Gen Z's, what are we going to think about it? The research would be Gen Z's design. We'll try for bright colors, we'll try for fast loading, and we'll try for minimal text, because Gen Z's are not in a favor where they sit and text and do. They want minimal text in their projects. Second would be highlight key requirements. Why it matters? These are your checklist items. Very important. What the client needs, not just what they said. There is difference between what we say and what we do. Why? It is not about commitment, it's about keeping, highlighting key requirements. Unless and until we have the checklist of our requirements. Why do we maintain a diary? We have talked about it earlier also. In our previous PPTs also, we maintain a record, we maintain a diary, we maintain a calendar. Why? To summarize, to understand which work when is done, what is the deadline for that work, in how much time can we complete it. Same is the case in any project. We need to keep a deadline, a checklist. What the client needs, not just what they said. Tips: use highlighters or digital comments to mark instructions, so that whenever you go through that, those things get highlighted to you automatically, and the remembrance goes directly into your mind that yes, this has to be done, this has to be completed, the checklist has to be taken care of. Make a bullet list of key client requests before responding. You should make a bullet list of the requests of the client. वो client क्या चाहता है अपने project में, what are the highlighted areas, what are his requirements, what all necessary actions have to be taken. All these things should be covered in the bullets. For example, let's take an example. Client prefers Google Fonts. CTA must lead to registration form. Deadline is flexible if justified. The client is okay with the deadline, but if it is justified, they can be flexible. Like if something which is under process is not getting ready on time, they can be flexible with the time. Your focus should be fonts, CTA flow, and timeline flexibility. Now in this example we saw that the customer, the client, who is our client, is preferring for a Google font. He wants a CTA lead registration to be done, and the deadline is flexible if justified. First we need to match the deadline, but if the deadline is not getting matched, we need to justify the deadline. So our focus should be first fonts, second CTA flow, and the third timeline flexibility. That is why the tips matter to us. We need to have highlighters or digital comments to mark instructions, and make a bullet for the list which the client requests are responded to. Now respond clearly and professionally. What does this mean? This means your tone is equal to your professionalism. Clients value clarity and quick understanding. Client is the most important part of any business. Your tone should be professional. The client values clarity. Whatever the client is asking for, if he gets clarity on that, he is understood, it's quick, it's fixed, the problem is fixed. Tips: restate main needs in words, shown clarity, break long replies into bullet points or short paragraphs, avoid jargons unless client uses it first. We have been discussing about all these points before. Let's again talk about them in this slide, that we need to avoid jargons. We need to be practically writing everything unless and until the client uses it first. If the client is in a habit of using it, then he can understand it from our end also. You stop making long replies, use bullet points so that 1 2 3 is read in less number of times, in less time taking format, and it is done. No paragraphs. And restate main needs in your work. Words shows clarity. For example, we'll use your brand colors and Google fonts. Homepage will include a centered CTA button. Is the registration form already prepared, or should we design that too? Now, what is the client looking for? The client is looking for a Google font CTA registration form, and the deadline he has given us, we want to satisfy him in that deadline only. Now what are we looking forward to? We are looking forward to a CTA button. Is the registration form already prepared, or do we need to design it again? So we need to understand that we need to design the CTA, we need to design the registration form before, and we need to see that the CTA button is centered and the Google fonts are bright and the home page is clear. All these things need to be bullet marked. All these things need to be, the words need to be precise. We don't need to put any jargons unless and until the customer wants it first or he puts it first. And our tone should be professional. Our client should be valuable for us, so that the clarity and quick understanding is there. Smart clarifying questions. Why it matters. Questions help avoid rework and show professionalism. Unless and until your questions are bothering someone, you're asking too many questions without any proper understanding, these things would trouble. Or nevertheless, questions help you avoid rework. If you do some work and then you talk about the questions, then you talk about it, what happens in that case? In that case, they prevent, what happens in that case? You avoid rework and show professionalism. Questions help you avoid your rework and show professionalism. Questions help you avoid rework, because anything which you have been doing and it is not right, but you would be in a fix, you will say, oh, I didn't understand it completely, come on, let's do it again. You are avoiding that situation. If you are clear beforehand, you are avoiding your rework and you are showing professionalism. You are very clear and focused on all the previous questions which you have been taking care of. Tips: don't be afraid to ask small things, they prevent big mistakes. It is not perfectly mentioned that you don't need to ask questions. Don't be afraid of asking anything. Why? Because small things are going to prevent you from big mistakes. And keep questions open-ended and polite. We should be very polite in asking questions. For example, do you want us to include animations or keep it static? This can be a very precise question which is going to help you in your work. Should the contact form send entries to an email or store them in a database? Can we use placeholder images until your team shares the final visuals? These examples are just to make you understand that these can be the kind of questions which can help you in work. Maybe any project you are taking care of, maybe any page you are making, maybe whatever you are doing as far as the parameters of your project are concerned. But questions like this would really help you complete your work in a better manner, in a better vision, in a better place. Review, confirm and follow up. Why it matters? Good communication doesn't end with one reply, it's a cycle. We should review, we should confirm and we should follow up, because that makes our work liable, smooth, appreciating and good. Excellent, we should say. Why does it matter? Good communication doesn't end with one reply, it's a cycle. Obviously, when you are good at communication, you maintain that cycle of communicating well, and it is not just a reply. Reread your email or response before sending. That will connect you properly, and that will tell you if you have any mistakes. It will make you more prompt, and you will be in a better position to answer any question if asked. Confirm what's decided and what needs their input. Follow up within the promised time frame. It is very important to follow within the time frame. Why? Because if you have a deadline, or if any deadline is given to you and you are not responding to the deadline or not responding to the timeline, then your professionalism is going to be under pressure. You would be counted on your professionalism. The first thing is which you would be told is that this is not professionalism, where you're forgetting the time frame, where you're forgetting your commitment. You have to be confirming, reviewing and following up according to the time frame. For example, thanking for confirming the CTA will go to a registration form. I will share the home page wireframe by Wednesday end of the day. You are giving a pre-information to the client that we are working on the registration form. The confirmation of the CTA is also being done. We are very soon going to share our home page with you, which you can see on Wednesday end of the day, and then the client also feels satisfied. Okay, my work is in progress, my work is being done, and the customer or the client is giving a pre-information or is following up for the work. That makes him feel professional and happy at the end of the day. Thank you.